So we are looking at probability, and you define probability as the likelihood or the chance that an event is going to happen. Okay, chance of an event happening. That is what we define as probability. So when you're talking about probability, it is not that something is going to happen. It's just the chance, if there is any chance of it happening. What's a chance that it can happen? For example, you know that in a week are 7 days, right? A week are 7 days. So maybe they are going to tell you that according to weather forecast, those people who talk about weather, they are going to say, okay, the chances that it is going to rain is in a week it might rain for 3 days. So then we're going to say probability of it raining. So I'm going to put rain there. So probability of raining is a 3 out of 7, because we have got a chance of it raining 3 days out of 7 days. So you know that a week contains 7 days. If the probability that it is going to rain is 3 out of 7, then the probability that it will not rain, okay, the probability that it will not rain on a day is going to be what? So what you do is, when you add two probabilities, so a probability is simply a chance, and chances are supposed to add up to 100%. And 100%, when you express this, you get to express this as a fraction, whereas a decimal is the same as 1. Okay, because 100% is the same as 100 over 100, which is 1. So the probability of not raining is going to be given by 1 minus probability of it raining. So therefore that is going to give you 1 minus 3 over 7. That will give you 4 over 7. So if the chance of it raining is 3 out of 7, then the chance of it not raining is going to be 4 out of 7. So when you're talking about probabilities, the probability of an event happening, so what you say is probability of an event. Let's say you're talking about winning and losing. Okay, the probability of winning, W, plus the probability of losing, let me use L. When you add these two, they're supposed to give you 1. That is 100%. Okay, so let's say the probability of you winning, let's say Manchester is playing with Barcelona, the probability of Manchester winning, let's say, is 3 out of, we can also give it as a decimal. Okay, let's say the chance of Manchester winning is 0.4. What is the probability that Manchester is going to lose? You know that the probability or the chance of winning plus the chance of losing is supposed to give you 1. So we're going to say the chance of winning is 0.4. So I'm going to put 0.4 here. Plus the chance of losing, which we don't know. This is supposed to give us 1. So we're going to say probability of losing is going to be 1. We'll take the 0.4 the other side minus 0.4. So the probability of losing this particular game is going to be 1 minus 0.4, which is 0.6. So the sum of all probabilities are supposed to add up to 1 or 100%. Is this okay? Are we moving together? All right. Now, there's all right. So at times when you're talking about probabilities, there are some events which depend on each other and some events which do not depend on each other. Okay, so we have got what we call independent events We also have dependent events. Now, an independent event, for it to happen, it depends on another. Sorry, not independent, but a dependent, just from the word depend. Okay, so a dependent event depends on another for it to happen. Okay, depends on another. While an independent, someone who is independent doesn't depend on anyone. So an independent event does not depend on another. Okay, an independent event does not depend on another. So take note of these two types of uh, events. So I've got an independent event and a dependent event. Now, let's say you have got a coin. Okay, you know that for a coin you can either have the head or you can have the tail. Okay, so these two events, when you throw a coin, you see the head, you cannot see the tail. You get that? When you throw the head, the coin, you see the tail, you can't see the head. So these two events, they depend on each other. They do depend on each other. So you can only have either the head or the tail. How do you find probability? So probability is given by uh, possible outcome. Okay, possible outcome divided by total number of possible outcomes. Okay, total number of possible outcomes. So that's the formula for probability. For example, you have got one coin. So when you have got one coin, you can either have the head or the tail, right? So the total number of possible outcomes, they are going to be two. Why two? Because it can either be head or tail. Now, the probability of you having the head is going to be, so when you have got one coin, you flip it, it will only give you once the head. Okay, so the probability of having the head is just one out of what? The total number of possible outcomes. You can either have the head or the tail. So it is one out of two. So if you are in a week of 7 days and the chance of you going to work is only 2 times, so the probability of you going to work is going to be 2 out of the total number of days, which is 7, because you only go 2 times or 2 days in a week, and the week contains 7 days. So the 7 is the total number of possible outcomes, right? Now, let's say you have got a bag. Let's say you have got a bag, and in this bag you have got different marbles. Okay, so you have got a bag which contains, let's say, 4 red marbles and let's say 3 white marbles. So the question is, what is the probability of picking a white marble? So the probability of picking a white marble is going to be equal to number of white marbles divided by the total number of marbles. Okay, total number of marbles. So you can see the marbles that we have here are how many? The white marbles. So the white marbles are only 3. Okay, so we are going to say 3. And then the total number of marbles, you have got 4 plus 3, that is a 7. So the probability of picking a white marble is going to be 3 out of 7. While the probability of picking a red marble, how many red marbles are there? There are 4. And then the total number of marbles is 7. So the probability of picking a red marble is 4 out of 7. So if you add the probability of picking a white marble plus the probability of picking a red marble, it should give you 1. So probability of picking a white marble is 3 over 7. White marble is 4 over 7. Okay, 3 over 7 plus 4 over 7 so will give you 1. So probability is always supposed to give you 1. Alright? Now, let's say you've been given a scenario where you've got, let's say you've been given uh, a shelf which contains 4, let's say, English books, 5 mathematics books, and let's say 7 science books. And then you pick a book at random. You pick a book at random. Find the probability that the book that you picked was a science book. So the probability that you picked a science book is going to be equal to number of science books, which are 7, divided by the total number of books which you have, 4 plus 5 plus 7. That is going to give us what? 4. We know 4 plus 5 is a 9. 9 plus 7 is a 16. So this is the probability of picking a science book. And then the probability of picking a maths book is going to be, how many maths book we have? There are 5. Out of the total is 16. And the probability of picking an English book is going to be 4 out of the total, which is 16. Now 4 out of 16, 4 can go into 4, 1. 4 can go into 16, 4. So you need to leave your probability in simplest form. So we're going to give it as 1 over 4. That is going to be the answer. Is this okay?
Yes, it's okay.
All right. Now, let's say we have got a bag. So, and then in this bag we have got, let's say, uh, 4 red books. Let me say 4 red pens and then 5 blue pens. Okay, so what happens is that a pen is picked at random. Like you just pick a pen at random without you choosing, I want to pick a red one. So a pen is uh, picked at random, and not replaced, and not, and I've written and replaced. So and not replaced. So another pen is picked. Another pen is picked. So the question is, find the probability number 1. I'm going to say find the probability that number 1, the first one was red. Okay, the first was red, and then the second was blue, and then for the second one we are going to find that both, find the probability that both pens were blue. Okay, both pens were blue. So how can we work out such a question? So in this circumstance like this one, what you are going to use, which is best to use, is a tree diagram. We are going to use a tree diagram to answer this question. Okay, now how do you get to use a tree diagram? What you are going to do is we are going to write like this. So remember we have got red pens and blue pens. So I'm going to write red here, and then I'm going to write blue here. Now at the beginning we have 4 plus 5 pens, which is a total of 9 pens. So the chance of picking a red pen, you're able to see, is what? Is 4 out of 9. But the chances of picking a blue pen is what? Is 5 out of 9. Okay, this is the first pen which was picked. A pen is picked at random. It wasn't replaced and not replaced. Another pen is picked. Okay, another pen is picked. So you picked a second one. So this one which I've shown here is a first pick. Okay, this is the first pick. And then the second pick. Again, where there is red, we are going to again put another line like that. Okay. So again, I'm I'm going to write R here. I'm going to put blue here. Even for this one, I'm again going to put like that. I'm also going to write R here. I'm going to write blue here. Now, for the first one, you're able to see this one. We are going to assume at the beginning, the first pen which we picked was a red pen. Now, if you picked a red pen, what is going to happen? Remember, you had only 4 red pens. So, at the beginning, if you picked one red pen from 4, how many are going to remain, Mark? How many pens have remained? Okay, are you able to follow what I'm saying? Okay, so yes, I mean, okay. So if you picked a red pen, it means they are no longer 4, they are now going to remain what? 3. Why? Because you picked and you did not replace. Okay, you did not replace. So meaning that you have got now 3 red pens, but the blue pens are still 5. Okay, so meaning that the total is 3 plus 5, which is 8. So the probability of picking a red pen in the second picking is going to be 3 out of 8. But the probability of picking a blue pen is still what? Is still 5. But the total has changed. It is now 8. Alright? And then for the second one here, you can see blue, right? So for this one, you are going to assume that the pick that you had, the pen that you picked was the blue for the first time. Remember, you didn't replace, okay? You picked a blue pen. So when you pick a blue pen, meaning that how many are remaining? Okay, those which are going to remain are going to be 4 because you have picked one. But the red ones will still be 4. Okay, the red ones will still be 4. For the first one, we assumed that we picked a red one, so that's why they became 3. But here, for the second one, we're assuming we picked a blue one, so the red ones will still be the same 4. Alright? So here, what we are going to do is the probability of picking a red marble, or a red pen, I mean, is still going to be what? 4. But the total is what? 4 plus 4, the total is 8. And then the probability of picking a blue marble is also going to be 4. The total is 8. So the first probability that you are able to see on top. So you can see there is R here, there is also R here. Meaning that this is the probability of picking a red marble and another red marble. And then here you've got R, here you have got blue. So this is going to be the probability of picking a red and then blue marble. Okay, here you have got blue and then red. Hope you're able to see there. You have got blue and then red. So this is the probability of picking a blue marble and then a red marble. And then the last one down, you can see we have got a B and then a B. So this is going to be what? Probability of picking a blue marble and then another blue marble. So here to find the probability that the first marble was red and then the second marble was blue. So you want where there is red and then blue. So you can see this is red red, this is red blue. Okay, so this is the one we want, a probability that you picked a red marble and then a blue marble. So how do you find that? So I'm going to say probability of having a red marble and then a blue marble. This is going to be equal to probability of red marble multiplied by probability of blue marble. Okay, so the probability of picking a red marble, remember we're talking about red blue here, so red marble is 4 out of 9 there, and then multiplied by the probability of picking a blue marble is here, red blue, that's 5 out of 8. Okay, so that will be times 5 out of 8. And here you can see that 4 can divide into 8 there, that will be a 2. Here it will be 1. So 1 times 5, that is a 5. The 9 times 2, that is going to be 18. So this is the probability of picking a red marble and then a blue marble. And then for part B, we've been asked to find the probability of picking both. I'm talking of marbles, I'm using pens here. I don't know why the marbles is coming. Okay, the probability of picking both pens being blue. So you want both being blue. So that's the probability of BB. Okay, probability of BB. So the probability of both pens being blue is going to be equal to, you get first the probability of blue here, which is what? 5 out of 9. We are going to multiply by the probability of another blue one there, which is 4 out of 8. Okay, we know a 4 can go into a 4 1, a 4 can go into 2, that 8 into, that is 2. So 5 times 1, that would be 5. 9 times 2, that would be 18. So this is the probability of picking both marbles blue. Any question here?
No questions.
Okay. Now let's say the question said find the probability of picking marbles of different colors. Let's put that C. Probability of picking marbles of different colors. Why am I using marbles again? This is pens of different colors. So you see, when you're talking about the probability of picking pens of different colors, this is going to be probability. You can see this is red blue, that is a different color, right? So red blue. Okay, so you say first we're going to say probability of different colors is going to be equal to probability of picking a red and then a blue. Okay, this is the one you say here. Even here, this is different colors. So there you're supposed to add plus probability of picking a blue and then red. Okay, so the probability of picking a red and then blue, how do you find that? Red and then blue is here. So you first pick this times this. That will be the probability of picking a red marble and then a blue marble. So that is going to be 4 over 9 times 5 over 8. And then plus the probability of picking a blue marble and then a red marble. This is the one here. So you are going to get first this and then times this. Okay. So that is going to be what? 5 out of 9 times 4 out of 8. So what are we going to get here? A 4 can divide 1 there, a 4 here, that is going to be 2. So I've got 1 times 5, which is 5, 9 times 2, which is 18, and then plus same here, 4 here, 2, 4 here, 1, 5 times 1, that's 5, 9 times 2, that is 18. Okay, so here what you just have is 5 plus 5, 5 over 18 plus 5 over 18. This is going to give you, since the denominator is the same, 18, just add what's on top. 5 plus 5, that's a 10. And you know there's a number can go into 10 and 18, that's a 2. So that will give you 5 over 9. So this is the probability that both marbles were of different colors. Now let's say instead of it being different colors, the question was saying find the probability that both pens, please just pardon me, I'm using marbles instead of pens. Yes, yes, please.
Um, you're saying that 4 over 9 times 5 times 5 over 8,
Mm-hmm.
so is equals to 5 over 18.
Yes.
So how do you find the 18?
All right. Okay, let's find it using this one. So I want now to find the probability that both pens are of the same color. Okay, both pens are of the same color. Now same color, you can see we have got red red and blue blue. Those are same colors. So the probability of the same color is going to be equal to probability of red red plus probability of white white. So probability of red red, this is red, this is red. So that is going to be 4 over 9 multiplied by 3 over 8 plus the probability of white. This is not even white, it's supposed to be blue blue, we don't have white here. So this is going to be 5 over 9 multiplied by 4 over 8. Those are the blue ones. Okay, so 5 over 9 multiplied by 4 over 8. So this is going to give us 4 into 4, 1. 4 into 8, 2, right? So you say uh, 1 times 3, that is going to give you 3. And then 9 times 2, that is going to give you 18. And then plus same here, 4 here, 1, 4 here, 2. So 5 times 1, that is going to be 5. And then down 9 times 2, that will be 18. And that the answer will just be 3 plus 5, which is 8 over 18. And you know that 2 can go into 8 4 times, 2 can go into 18 9 times. So the probability that both pens were of the same color is 4 out of 9.